Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to have a bit of a discussion, a bit of a pre-release hype building for the newest character coming in Wuthering Waves 2.7, and hopefully not the only character coming in Wuthering Waves 2.7. Maybe we'll see another bit of drip marketing more in 10 hours. But we've got Galbrena, and boy, oh boy, is this splash art and this unit and sort of like the pre-story teasing that we've had. Boy, oh boy, isn't it a bit crazy. Let's go ahead. Let's get right on into it. Let's see what she has to share with us right now, because we've got the post-lament Anthropocene. I still don't know how you're really supposed to pronounce that. I don't know why they're like, this is probably the most jargon in Wuwa history. With this hellfire to consume them all. And then she's got the blue flames. She's got the demon arm. She's got her own like personal echo that, you know, I think we all gave a listen to this bad boy at the end of the 2.6 quest. And, well, I think she's somebody that a lot of people have been looking forward to. She basically fits this whole sort of like demon hunter, echo hunter, some could say Thronodian hunter archetype. And the description for that is pretty reliable. Galbrena, the fiend of the ever-burning flame, the Discord Slayer. The Discord Slayer. She has been to hell and back through countless battles, deepest darkness, and much more. She hunts, going from one hunting grounds to another, and will never stop hunting. Ladies and gentlemen, get your mods ready, because Discord's gonna be in some fucking trouble after this release. So naturally, all jokes aside, this is clearly referencing tacit Discords, not the people that you're talking to every day while you're feeding in League of Legends. And yeah, we've already got a lot of story exposure to this unit. I think it's pretty clear by now. I'm just gonna bring up the Wuthering Waves like 2.6 quest. It's pretty clear who this unit is and some of the background. They're not necessarily like a new character that's getting introduced to us right off of the rip. So Galbrena is a character that we actually encountered pretty early on back in the Wuthering Waves 2.5 or Wuthering Waves 2.6 story quest. Actually, kind of like in the middle of it. You all remember that scene over here when you had good old Augusta protecting this tree, and inside this tree there was another child sort of like marinating and, you know, getting corrupted by the dark tide. And that child was none other than Angel. And we saw quite a few cutscenes and stills regarding Angel, where she had like this one eye that was like getting cursed. All we know was that she absorbed a significant amount of power from the dark tide, and then sort of went, you know, appeared to be MIA, appeared to be missing for a while. And then after Augusta's issues get solved, we hear all about, you know, that issue resolving. Then, well, you get this cutscene at the end of the quest. And then you hear about this unit, who seems to fit a lot of the similar characteristics with the wings and stuff, and then also the name Angel. We got Galbrena, and this voice that accompanies her.
It's been a while, Rinesita.
You'll also notice she has the same accent as Augusta. Kind of like with like the rolling R's, a little bit like that. She has the same accent as Augusta, and, well, guess who had the same accent back in the flashback? It's Angel. And this is her Echo companion.
What prey do we hunt this time?
Sounds a little, menacing, and I think it's pretty clear over here. This is who they're talking about. This little bad boy, in the corner kind of looks like, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, kind of looks like one of these echoes. Almost looks like a Giga version of one of these Fey Ignis echoes. So we know that Brant summons one of these like during one of his like idle animations. This guy just kind of looks like he looks like a 3-cost version of one of those. And so, yeah, maybe like the naming scheme actually is like this is one of these two is Galbrena, she's actually Angel, or maybe like Angel, the name has just been like transformed. Because I do find it interesting that the name Galbrena is even here, even though we basically had like a name established in the lore. So maybe this is potentially like the name of the Echo, or it's just got like some other demonic name like Ifrit or Bahamut or some shit. So we'll just have to see. We don't get a lot of details over here, but I just think overall right off the bat, all the motifs are there, right? You got Angel with the wings. You got the whole, like, hell dynamic over here. You've got, like, the demonic companion. This is, like, Lucifer. This is, like, Nero. This is so many different thematics put into one. Very, very, you know, sort of, like, religious Christian undertones as well. And let's just be honest here, right? It's kind of like an aesthetic, kind of like that heaven and hell sort of thing that we just haven't had yet. But there have been other pieces of media in existence where this dynamic has been done really well. And it's actually an IP that Kuro has, well, collaborated with in the past. If you all know about a franchise called Devil May Cry, then you'd probably be familiar with the character at the bottom over here called Nero. He's essentially one of, like, the main protagonists of the story, ends up being, like, one of, like, the main heroes overall. And this guy is who I consider to be it's almost like a one-to-one inspiration, right, to Galbrena. You got the white hair, you got the blue clothes, and perhaps most importantly of all, you've got the blue demon wings that he conjures up. He gains the power to spawn these in the middle of the DMC5 story, but this is what he's looking like at the end of it. And if you're not able to draw the comparisons between these two, I don't think even God can help you at this point, because she's basically just like a gender-bent version, at least from the design angle, right? And when we all know how good DMC5's combat is, well, let's just be honest, guys. I'm pretty sure her kit is going to be an absolute blast. So, we know a couple of things about her, right? She's got the Echo with her. She uses pistols. And so, let's just talk a little bit more about, well, some additional clues we might find as well. So, this isn't the only bit of material when it comes to the character. We've also got this teaser over here. Oh, sorry if I haven't said this yet, but I'm calling her as a fusion character. Yeah, I'm calling her as a fusion. If she's not fusion, I'm actually gonna throw a fucking riot. Okay? Like, if she's not fusion, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna crash out. That's basically it. All right, so now let's check this teaser out over here, which is the animated version with some additional sound effects, and see how this one is. What else can we decipher? I'm sorry. This thing is gonna take a pretty active role in the combat. I can already see over here. It's got like its own rendered model and everything. Holy. Okay. Hey, yo, is she gonna get her own musical soundtrack? Hey, Kuro Games, just based off of what I heard over there, can you release a musical soundtrack for this character? Kind of like how you did one for Cartithia and Lupa? I'm gonna be honest, brother, that shit is badass. And as far as I'm concerned over here, she also has snakes as well? Wait, this was not in the... They're not in the splash art, but they show up. She's got snakes too. What the hell? She already got this. Why she got snakes too? Well, I guess that's an additional thing over here. She's even got like that whole motif. Yeah, it might just be that she's like kind of like the embodiment of hell. She's like the embodiment of hell. Yeah, there's like a headless horseman over here. There's like the snakes. There's the demon. Good lord, she's bringing the entire army, apparently. Maybe those are all, like, the past echoes, the past discords that she's slain. And that's kind of like the bounty list behind her. Or it's like a chimera or something. All I know is, yeah, that's not really the part that I think anybody was expecting. So maybe she summons more than this guy in combat. Maybe she's literally like a Pokemon trainer. Yeah, she's potentially like an Echo skill damage focused Pokemon trainer. Because it's not just this dude, this might be one as well. Shit, this could be a dragon. You got the snakes, and then you got the headless horseman over here. So, yeah, I'm glad that we watched this one, because as far as I'm concerned, this has told us quite a bit about what her kit could potentially be. So, she's gonna be a pistol user. I'm 99% sure she's gonna be fusion, and I will bet hard-earned money on her dealing Echo skill damage. And so, let's talk about why. Naturally, we've just covered all of the stuff over here when it comes to, like, the additional entities that we've seen on her artwork. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the existing kits that we have in the game. And so, version 2.6 released, well, this new set over here that I think a lot of people have been a little bit confused about because there's not really a wielder for it in the game. It's called Law of Harmony. And this set does something pretty simple. Using an Echo skill gives you heavy attack damage for 4 seconds, and additionally, all Resonators in the team gain a stacking 4% Echo skill damage buff up to 16% every single time an Echo skill is used, and Echoes of a different name can only trigger this effect once. So guys, what have we just seen over here? 1, 2, 3 summonable entities. I've seen 3 summonable entities. And, of course, she's gonna have an Echo skill that she can use in the 4 slot to be the 4th one. And that would allow her to activate the Law of Harmony set by herself. That's just what I'm assuming, because you got 1 over here, and then you see 3 beings in her splash art. Interesting. So, I'm not going to draw any conclusions over here, but there are still some more clues that we have. This might also mean that Galbrena's probably a heavy attack damage dealer, right? And that's not too surprising at all, considering that it's very clear that she's a pistol user. And we also have this in the game, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been keeping up with the Battle Pass, you would know that in this new box, you have the Hunter's Growl series also available. And what's clear from these new weapons is that the new Battle Pass weapons is that they're clearly designed around the newer characters, with the Broadblade, for example, being designed for Augusta because it gives attack and heavy attack. And so if we just go ahead and we pop on over and we go look at pistols, we can see that Solar Flame, the Hunter's Growl weapon, gives you a bonus to heavy attack damage. Guys, there's a reason why when I made my video covering the Hunter's Growl weapon series, I said that they basically leak the kits of the new units. Because when you have all of these points of evidence lining up, 3 Echoes over here for 4 active, then you got the pistols as well, then you got Law of Harmony requiring 4 Echo skills to activate, and then Law of Harmony gives heavy attack damage, and then the pistol, which she's clearly using in her splash art, also gives heavy attack damage. Guys, I think it's kind of clear what's going on over here. She's probably going to be a pistol heavy attack damage dealer. And so, now we figured out her weapon and her damage type.
Whether it's for show or for battle.
Okay, that was nice. Let's talk a little bit about, well, the active Echo skill over here. So, let me just take a look at this. So, I really quickly farmed a Korosaurus. And you'll notice that the new Korosaurus Echo, well, aside from being fucking gigantic, this thing is huge. You can see that its passive effect on the 3 cost, the passive bonuses, the Resonator with this Echo equipped in the main slot gains a 12% fusion damage bonus, a 12% fusion damage bonus, and a 20% Echo skill damage bonus. And so when you know that Law of Harmony is a 3-piece set, and you're supposed to combine it with another 2-piece, and then that 2-piece is also on the fusion set, well, ladies and gentlemen, what exactly is going on over here? Yeah, we've got the, I think we've got the exact Echo build that you're gonna need on Galbrena, and I'm pretty sure you can actually start farming for her right now. Yeah, I think that you can finish her build right now, and the only thing that you have to worry about is a crit rate or a crit damage forecast on the Fenrico Echo. That's what I think you can do. Because you can just farm Law of Harmony. You can just farm the regular 3-piece set, right? From just going ahead and doing these Nightmare Purification fields, right? You can farm the 1 and 3 costs over there. And then you're going to go ahead. And when it comes to the 2-piece, well, you're going to want to farm some Flaming Claw print. Specifically, the Korosaurus. And then, you know, probably save some main slots. I bet it's going to be fusion damage, but it could also be like attack as well. But just kind of like keep those options open. And then you're just going to get another 4 cost that's also on, well, let's just be honest here, the new set. The nice thing that's going to be nice over here is that because this 3-piece, 2-piece combo with Law of Harmony and Flaming Clawprint, because your main Echo is going to be a 3 cost from Flaming Clawprint, you can also go for the 2-piece bonus. You can use this guy in the main slot, and then you could actually use one of your existing Lioness of Glories as the other 2-piece. And then when it comes to Law of Harmony, you don't actually have to use this Fenrico 4 cost. You can just use, well, this guy, and then 2 of these, 2 of the puffs. And so Galbrena could potentially be, at least in my opinion, from all I'm seeing over here, if she uses Flaming Clawprint and she uses Law of Harmony, those are basically almost confirmed at this point, she might have the most flexible Echo builds on the planet. legitimately, because she can use like a 4 cost from either set. She only needs the Korosaurus, the 3 cost, and so like the 1 and the 3 cost across both sets are gonna be super flexible. Now, let's talk about the last piece, and that is, of course, the fact that this new set over here, or Flaming Clawprint, is getting boosted with the new Korosaurus. I'm praying, potentially, that Galbrena has a lot of synergy with Lupa. And one of the reasons why I'm saying that is because, naturally, you're gonna farm the full 5-piece Flaming Clawprint set if you're building Lupa. And so, while you're in the middle of doing that, it would be awesome if those leftover pieces that you had from your Lupa grind actually end up being like core components of your Galbrena build, right? This would kind of get you to the point where if you were somebody that pulled Lupa then pulled Galbrena, you'd be kind of doing like a 2-for-1 farming deal when you're farming Flaming Clawprint. And so to me, this is like even like a more sustainable way that they're making like echo farming and like the echo building process even smoother and smoother for players as time is going on, right? Because, in my opinion, with Galbrena's set launching an entire patch before she does, this is probably going to be the character that everyone's going to have a day 1 build for. If you're prepping for Galbrena, if you're doing this every day, if you're building up that store of Echo inventory, I don't see any reason why you don't have a day 1 build. Because you're able to do this the entire duration until her patch drops, 2.7 drops. Like, she should be pretty good to go. And if you're somebody that's also been keeping up with the releases, you're gonna have some existing Lupa pieces that you can use, right? There's like almost no universe where, let me just see over here, in what universe am I not gonna be able to use this on her, right? That's another situation you can think about if she doesn't work with Lupa. And if she does, naturally, Lupa's fusion buffs are going to be really good. So, yeah, I would just say that Galbrena's probably going to feel like one of the most comfortable character releases, like building processes, all of that we've ever had in the game. I genuinely feel like she has all of the tools required, right, to pop onto your account, get built, and then start producing results immediately. Now, the last synergy that I'll talk about, we've talked a lot about like the fusion piece, is naturally the one that might occur with Frolova. And one thing that we know that Frolova does is that Frolova has amplification for heavy attacks and then also synergizes really well with echo skills. And so, naturally, right, I think that Galbrena, if her 4 echo skills, Law of Harmony thing is true, and she also deals heavy attack based off the weapon and all the info we've seen about that, as well as the Law of Harmony set, then, well, Frolova should also be a great damage amplifier for Galbrena. And I think that Galbrena is probably going to do way more damage than Rosia. I'm basically going to guarantee that Galbrena is going to do way more damage than a pure sub DPS like Rosia. That's probably why this 20% Havoc damage amp is going to be there. And let's be honest, guys, it's probably going to keep Galbrena a little bit more balanced than if this was like a 20% fusion one. Because otherwise, like, the Frolova team already does really good with Rosia as a low damage dealer. You pop in Galbrena, give her full amp, and that team might be a little bit too strong. Like, literally power creep level strong. There's also a third synergy that we're going to be talking about over here, and that is with an unreleased unit whose kit is in-game. As long as enough of Galbrena's damage is heavy attack damage, Yuno's gonna work with her as well. Because Yuno has this really unique part of her kit, which is the fact that her damage amplification is 100% heavy and doesn't get diluted by attribute-specific buffs either. We just talked about how Frolova might be a little bit more balanced with her team and performance with Galbrena because Galbrena's not going to get the 20% amp. Yuno's going to give her the full 50, right? But naturally might have some other components in her kit that won't work as well. Sort of like, you know, the Blessing of Wan Light, which I'm pretty sure Galbrena is not going to be able to stack up unless one of her echoes, like, gives a shield or some shit, which could be interesting. But yeah, that's going to be that for, like, our coverage of what Galbrena's potential synergies could be, all the clues that we have about her kit, what she's all about. All I gotta say is that, yeah, this unit looks badass. I had no idea she was going to be, like, summoning an army. But after seeing this, yeah, I do think that she's basically going to be like the Pokemon trainer of the Wuthering Waves cast. And honestly, I can't wait to see what her animations look like. I can't wait to see what her, like, all the details surrounding her kit, how she interacts with, like, new Sonata sets, new equipment. And yeah, very excited to see how she's going to do in the future. So yeah, that'll be that for that one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you all thought. Peace.